Hello and welcome to another edition of Protomet Tries, and today we are approaching the end of this noodle marathon, and of course we are approaching my inevitable doom. But before we get to this, well, let's take a look at the name of this. Hot and Spicy Firewalk. Now, Firewalk is the add-end, but what about the hot and spicy? Well, turns out that's a variety of bowls that also exist just standalone. And I'm going to be trying them today. I've got the three basic hot and spicy flavors. I've got hot and spicy chicken, hot and spicy shrimp, both of which are the 1 level on there. You can see that. They've only got 1 pepper on the scale. But I've also got the fiery beef flavor, which is 2 peppers on the scale. But let's start with the basics. Let's do the chicken flavor first. So, 3, 2, 1. I guess you can't really see it since there's actually a lot of the broth still in here. Also, I'm not going to be adding the chili sauce to this because I don't feel I need to prove to you guys that I put it in here. Because with the Firewalks, yeah, those were, really hot. So the whole point of me pouring the chili sauce in there, or the fire sauce, or whatever it was called, in there was just to prove that no, I'm not backing down. But since these are intended to be mild in terms of spiciness, I don't feel I need to prove it to you guys. Also, it wouldn't have looked nearly as cinematic because it was very chunky. Here is what it looks like. We've got some vegetables in here. Got like lettuce, cabbage or whatever, carrot pieces, pepper pieces, chunks of chicken it looks like. Now, before I even pop this into the magic, I did pour the flavoring powder in here and gave that a sniff, and it kind of smelled a bit like barbecue sauce or ketchup. And again, that was before I even had added the chili sauce. So let's quickly see how this smells. Yeah, it still kind of smells a bit like a tomatoey sauce, which is a bit odd. Weird, but let's give this a taste. Why don't we? Noodles are fine. Can't really complain about the noodles. And it does have a bit of a heat to it that isn't directly taken from the fact that it's currently sitting in boiled broth. But yeah, it is a mild heat, which is to be expected because this is one of the weakest. I mean, it's got 1 chili on there. I'm not really tasting a lot of the chicken flavoring, but I kind of assume that that's probably because when it comes to chicken flavored ramens, they kind of all taste a bit the same. So it's kind of like why the phrase "it tastes like chicken" exists, which Well, in fact, is the reason why it tastes like chicken is a bit of a bland taste, because chickens have been genetically modified over the years through, selective breeding to get that kind of generic chickeny taste. So that's something I learned from Alton Brown's show, Good Eats. Go check that out. It's a fairly old show, but it's definitely worth checking out if you've never seen it. I should probably have a bit of the broth on its own if I can. Yeah, that's a spicy broth. That's not to say that the broth in and of itself is super spicy, but it definitely tastes like a broth that is spicy. If that makes sense. Like it's the kind of taste you expect from something that's going to be spicy. Without, the actual spicy. It is spicy, but before the spiciness actually hits you, you can taste the fact that it is a spicy liquid. It's just got that distinct taste to it. I don't know how to describe it. That's why I'm having such a hard time doing that very thing. But yeah, this is fine. This is not bad. I'd probably stick with a regular chicken flavored ramen. I should have checked to see if they had any regular chicken flavored bowls to compare this to, but we've kind of burned that bridge, as it were, by even doing this video before that. So all we can do is continue forward, and let's continue forward with the shrimp flavor. So 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Shrimp flavor, and it's once again quite brothy. I'm disappointed. I was hoping it would be not brothy, but at this point I'm kind of expecting it. So how does it smell? Chili. Still got that same scent that lets you know that it's going to be spicy without, outright having a spicy scent. It's fresh out of the magic, so it's still quite hot. It has once again got cabbages and carrots and pepper flesh. I think it tastes a bit shrimpy, while at the same time mixing with the spicy. It's not bad, but once again, like with the chicken, I would honestly prefer to just go with the shrimp flavored bricks for my shrimp flavor. This one is definitely for if you want something that's a bit spicy. But that having been said, it's not super spicy. It is definitely mild. It's not bad. but I do feel that there are better alternatives. Let's give the broth a taste. The broth especially is going to be hot, as is usually the case with these. Both hot as in the temperature and hot as in spicy. Since this is where all the spicy is. Held. And that is a spicy broth. Not super spicy, but it's definitely more spicy than the noodles in the broth. Not a bad option. Just kind of, Next up, we've got the fiery beef flavor, which is a degree hotter than the previous two. And it kind of makes me wonder, what would have 3 peppers? Because once you hit 4, that's where you get to firewalk territory, as evidenced by the pork variety of that I tried at the beginning of this noodle marathon. But let's do this. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Wait, that's not right. There we go. Fiery beef. And once again, I don't gotta show you no stinking chili packet. I don't gotta prove that to you. This time we've got a combination of course, the noodles, as you can see. But we've also got, of course, the standard combination of tomato flesh, cabbage, chili flesh. But now we've got the addition of green beans. So, let's pull this closer. It smells hot. And a bit beefy. Even before adding the water, the seasoning that was going into this did smell like spicy beef. So, let's see if it tastes like spicy beef. Or like beef at all. We'll see if the spiciness overpowers the beef. Let's go. A bit beefy, but ooh, that one's got a bit of heat to it. That one's definitely got more heat to it than the other two, which makes sense given the two chili peppers they got on here out of 6, as opposed to the other two's 1 chili pepper out of 6, and that is a decent heat. Probably would have given me a run for my money when I was younger and less experienced in the ways of spicy. Making my nose a little stuffed up as a result. A bit runny, as it were. Just par for the course, honestly. Just don't mind me, just stroking my beard. Stroking my beard. But yeah, that heat has, by this point, mostly dissipated. So I'm ready to go for another round. Should have blown on that a bit more. Oh. But yeah, that's spicy. Whew. Whew. Good spicy though. Not at all bad. Let's see, get a good. We're going for the broth this time, so you see, the broth is where the heat is stored. That's why you gotta blow on it to cool it down. And by heat, I mean temperature. Water does a decent job of holding on to heat. Not quite as much as, say, metal, but a bit of a beefy broth to it. There's the heat, as is to be expected. Yeah. So yeah, that was fiery beef. Yeah, I'd have these again. Although, for the shrimp and chicken flavors, if I really wanted to have to be able to taste the chicken and shrimp, I'd stick to the regular non-spicy varieties of ramen for those. Fiery beef, it does a decent job of having the beef flavor, but I will admit, I would probably still go for a regular non-spicy beef flavor to get, well, the beef flavor. But if I want some spicy beef, then this is a good option, as it does do a decent job of actually having a beefy taste to it. And the spice is pretty intense, relatively speaking. Relative to what? I'm gonna leave that up to you. I'm not a scientist. I don't gotta prove nothing to you. I don't got facts and equations. I just have taste buds. Just taste buds. I'm destitute, honestly. All this is all CGI. In fact, I'm not even eating ramen. This is also green. This is also green screened. Am I lying or am I telling the truth? You decide. So with the regular hot and spicy out of the way, next week, prepare to watch me make one of the worst mistakes I've ever made in my entire life. Yeah. So until next time, see ya. Oh hey, we got one of those down there. Cool.